All right. Good morning, Star Wars fans. I am Justin Miyashiro, JagTech Hazardville, coming to you with coverage of the quarterfinals of U.S. Nationals in Minneapolis. Right now we have JLavigne, treadwell on Gemp, on dark side. Looks like with Agents of the Black Sun. He's on the bottom half of your screen. He is up against AHoward, batmouse, the batmouse himself, on light side. He's on the top half of your screen. I know what he said last night he was going to play because I'm on his team, but it's hard to see on the screen here. He has, I believe, some sort of 2-0 sight out, which would certainly suggest communing. Oh yeah, that's definitely communing. Looks like Master Yoda communing. You can see at the very top edge of your screen there the communing epic event and a Jedi Master under it. Name's short enough that I think it's Master Yoda. So I know Batmouse played the Yoda communing deck for the Swiss rounds of this event to make top 8. And it went pretty well. I know he and the rest of our team was kicking around some different ideas for what he might play for the top 8, but it looks like he decided to go back to the deck that he brought initially, which I don't think is necessarily a bad idea. You know that deck did well. You know what you're doing with it. A lot of times switching just makes it harder unnecessarily. So Jeff is doing Agents of the Black Sun, a deck that he is well known for being quite proficient with. He has started Shadows of the Empire, quietly observing, I believe, Virtual, and will wipe them out, all of them. I think a pretty typical start for Agents of the Black Sun. He has already pulled the Imperial Square with Shadows of the Empire. And we'll see as he's looking through his deck whether he's got the Vigo or not that is needed to get the rest of the activation kind of going with this. And also whether he wants to do that on turn 1, because it's definitely possible for him not to. Darkseid has not deployed, has not put any battlegrounds out on the table yet. So sorry about that. So he's got the Emperor, and moves the Emperor over with Zizor and passes. Yeah, he's not going to put out any battlegrounds, not giving Anthony a chance to get set up on the ground with the Jedi Masters that Yodamuning is likely to play. All right, so Batmouse goes into his deck, probably for a 2/2 location. Sees he's fanning by there. There's the Camino site, so hopefully the Camino system. There it is, Camino system. And he's going to pull the Camino 2/0 site as well. The ability to pull these locations is certainly one of the great strengths of Yoda communing. So both sides just getting their activation set up on turn 1, getting some things going. Yeah, you use a force in order to deploy the 2/0, the Camino location, but that's probably fine. And then can't see what effects he's got there, but we're not going to ask for too much movement out of the players during the top 8. So my guess would be Walkling Jedi Business Squadron assignments, because that is what he played yesterday. It's possible he changed up the space package. Okay, Jeff is going to use Emperor Palpatine to get a Force Lightning. Agents of the Black Sun, a deck that can do its card cycling pretty efficiently. Okay. He pulls the Vigo now, deploys some locations. Why is it 3? Thought Vigo deployed -1 there, but Perhaps I am not, perhaps I'm incorrect on that. Yeah, he deploys -1 to Coruscant. I'm not sure why it was 3 force. Oh, because it's 1 force to deploy the Battleground. Duh, of course. Okay. So Jeff deciding if he wants to do anything further with his deployment instead of just get those sights out. It looks like our stream is... Oh, there it goes. Took a second, but we are streaming off of Sam Tashima's phone. Sorry, we're streaming off of Sam Tashima's phone while he's playing in the top 8, so hopefully no technical issues, because we probably won't be able to fix them. Alright, so Caesar moves over to the Caesar's Palace, which will flip Darkside's objective. Now Jeff's going to presumably put Force Lightning back to look at his force pile, see the order of things, whether he wants to move the Emperor before he draws a card with Shadows of the Empire, that kind of thing. This kind of card manipulation is really kind of the linchpin of Agents of the Black Sun, and the reason why it's a good deck. Being able to know the order of your cards, so you can draw things in the right order, pick up the things that you want during your deploy phase so that you can use them instead of having to wait until the end of your turn. All of this. So ping damage is good too, but for my money, I would say the manipulation is the more important. All right, and everybody moves over to the Coruscant Caesar's Palace site, and Jeff shall just draw some cards. And you'll activate one with wipe. Both players activating a fair amount here. Looks like 11 against 12, 13? 11 against 13 at the moment. So one slightly risky thing about doing what Jeff did there on turn 1, we didn't see it happen, but if Batmouse is playing the Jedi Council Chamber, since it's an interior site, it can go on either end of the 2 exterior Coruscant locations, the Imperial Square and the Imperial City. Jeff certainly would want the Caesar's Palace to be right next to the Imperial City, so you can just move everybody over for free in one move. I think it flipped between the front-facing and back-facing camera there. But if Batmouse had a Speak with the Jedi Council, or just had the Jedi Council Chamber in his hand, he could have deployed it next to the Imperial City, and then kind of forced Jeff to move to the other side to get to the Coruscant Battleground sides. Doesn't happen too often, but it is something to be aware of when you're playing Agents of the Black Sun that could mess you up. So looks like Batmouse is just going to put Luke in space. Just complete defiance of the Agents of the Black Sun objective and its flip back condition that needs you to put Luke at a Battleground site. He's just going to put Luke in space and set up his guns and keep everyone going. Oh. trying to see if I can delete that chat message, but it doesn't seem to be a thing that I have the option to do. All right, anyway. I can't see if there was a battle plan shield pulled here, but certainly if there was, Jeff didn't pay for it. I would think there probably would be. And he would have caused us 1 point of damage there with the objective. Unfortunately, Batmouse's lost pile is off screen, so I can't see what was lost for that. All right, Jeff is going to pull the last Coruscant Zizzer's Palace site out there. Get all of his activations set up. He's going to put a card back down to look at his force pile. All right, and while Jeff is making his decision here as to, or is evaluating where everything is in his force power, rather, if you like the decks that you see, you can leverage the greatest Star Wars CCG deck building minds by accessing our tournament deck list post. The deck list from day 1 and day 2 of this event will be made available within about a week at the end of the event, and they'll be posted online. Just go to www.starwarsccg.org, hover over deck lists, and click on tournament deck list to see deck lists posted from our major events. There are also GIMP importable files that'll be available on the forums for players to download and use, so you don't have to write it all out. Looks like Jango Fett coming down to Zizzer's Palace upflank station. Emperor Palpatine moving over, so spreading out to cause more damage and putting a putting a Black Sun agent with the Emperor so that you can play Zizzer Bounty, but also Feltline's Fist and a pilot of some kind on it. Can't tell who it is. It is sideways under it, but... Oh, actually, I think Jango Fett just shuttled up. Yeah, that looks like what happened. Oh, wait. No, I think Vigo actually shuttled up. Okay. And then Zizzor moves over. So still consolidating, still not wanting to be exposed to a Jedi Master beatdown, which is also reasonable. Okay. Now, I would guess that Batmouse probably pulled Battle Plan here because Jeff is not. And this card in use. Is that because Batmouse retrieved one and Jeff forgot to pull his aim high shield? Oh. No, he's taking damage. Maybe that was an Imperial, maybe that was a Rebel Artillery and just a drain. Still no payment, so no battle plan. No battle plan is interesting given that one player satisfies it and the other doesn't. You wonder if Jeff is doing the tech that Jared Napolitano did with his Agents of Black Sun and playing the Battle Order combo. in order to get free attacks. The drawback of which meaning that you can't pull your own battle plan, your own battle order shield, because it's unique. So you can't play the effect after you've played the shield. So batmouse gets the Naboo Theed Palace Generator Core, the 3/2 site, with his Yoda Communing epic event, or rather the character. This is a really good site, particularly against Agents of the Black Sun, because so many of their characters are ability less than 5. So you don't even need Sorry About the Mess or Clash of Sabers to get them out of a battle. You just hit them and they go used. They don't go lost, so that's one thing, but it makes it really difficult to attack into that site. Now, batmouse hasn't actually deployed anybody there. Like considering things, maybe moving some cards around with Communing. If he does deploy there, it's kind of just both players getting set up for things to happen. 4, 5, 6. 6. Obi-Wan? Somebody got barriered? Oh, it must be a ship. Must be a Han Cheering the Falcon. You can see just the very little corner of it up in the upper left there in front of Coruscant. And then 4 spent for Rey on the Falcon. Oh, it looked like it was 4 spent for one character and 4 spent for then also Rey. Who can that character be? Could be Hera. Princess Lavigne I've seen more and more common, but she costs 3, so it wouldn't be her. Although maybe I miscounted. Maybe it's Princess Lavigne and Rey, which would be quite a space package there. Now, Coruscant, a Parsec 0 site, or Parsec 0 system, rather. So although Han Cheering the Falcon can go back and forth from Communing to Coruscant, Luke can't join them, so... unless there's a few maneuvers going around somewhere, but... looks like he's going to pass after that. No, deployed the site, but no ground characters. Just a bit of a fleet, or a bit of a loaded ship up at Coruscant. So it does mean that Jeff is going to cause 3 damage here, because he gets to get the drain and the ping. He's counting the activation first. I think he activated 1 too many. Oh no, they figure out how much activation he has. So the Coruscant system here, yeah, it gets an extra dark side icon while occupied by a Black Sun agent. And a light side icon, but... on the one hand, it's kind of an interesting mechanic to do with your system. Make it a non-battleground, but then make it a battleground when you occupy it or when your opponent controls it. The problem, of course, is that it can be a little unbalancing, as we saw with the Thrawn objective, where the Lothal system was changed to be a non-battleground. That ended up causing a little bit of problems. It was just a little too efficient. So, do it sometimes, but not all the time. Not sure what that force was spent for. Shouldn't be a drain. You're occupying a battleground system. Kind of looks like it was drained, though. So Jeff has pulled Coward and some kind of shield here. Is that not Vigo up there? Because Jango Fett was deployed. It has to be Vigo. So that is a battleground. So I'm not sure what we're doing there. All right, well, there's Mara with Lightsaber. Presumably a card revealed with Quietly Observing. I don't think we didn't actually see the reveal, but that certainly has to be one of them in order to play her. Some other character? Can't tell who that is. They have a long name, but not sure who. Oh, that is probably actually Jango Fett. That doesn't make sense. Oh, there's Zam Wessel. I know her. So as far as battling goes, Jeff does have... ooh, something's getting sensed. I think Jeff just flipped a sense onto the table. I don't know for what. Okay, and Emperor moves back over with Mara Jade. And he's going to draw some cards. So maybe Zam got barriered, but then sensed. But no, that wouldn't really make sense. Why would you then not... If you were going to sense the barrier, why wouldn't you battle after? Alright, batmouse activates. Probably going to retrieve with Luke. Yeah. 2 damage again. I guess they just haven't pulled Battle Plan. That is bizarre to me. Although, it's possible actually I see 2 red cards down there. Jeff may be shield busted. That's why he's not pulling Battle Plan. That's a curious choice against a Squadron Assignments deck. But, we'll see. Also, still possible that he's doing what I said before and has the Battle Order combo effect, and so doesn't want to use it. Batmouse moving a card around his force pile, or maybe going to move a card around. Yeah, moved a card around his force pile with Communing and then drew it with Rey. Rey is so powerful with Communing Jedi. 3. Oh. No, I think that 3 was paying for damage. Okay. All right. That all makes sense now. I was going to check his deck, probably to see if there's any sabers in there. There's not. There's a whole lot of characters. Whole lot of characters. Wow, that is not the battle you want to be doing. Oh, so he's going to get 3PO out. Yep, there's the were you looking for me? Curious to put him down on Coruscant. I would think you'd put him like in Camino. Oh, he's just taking him in hand. Probably not deploying him on Coruscant. So I think you would want to deploy him somewhere safe where he's not going to get battled. Obviously, he can't be battled alone, but you don't want to put him somewhere where battles are going to happen. So, all right. Then he uses 3PO. Starts getting his card manipulation really fully set up here. So Jeff's certainly ahead on board position here. We'll see what batmouse can do to kind of get everything, kind of catch things up a bit here. There's an Anakin Padawan learner. To figure out where he's going to put him. He's going to put him to the Zizur Palace sewer, looks like. Certainly possible that batmouse has drawn some of those lightsabers. Yeah, so even though there aren't any in there right now. Well, he hasn't paid for Anakin yet. No, he's trying not to. Oh yeah, there's the battle order. Thank you, Jeff, for moving your shields. So it's the Grabber, Coward, Chimera Big Coward, Battle Order, and Secret Plan. So a couple retrieval shields, and then, of course, Battle Order Grabber. So, all right, Anakin's actually going to go to Naboo, which makes sense. Not much advantage to putting him on Coruscant. Battle's pretty bad here. There's so many ones in Batmouse's deck right now, so probably not going to fight. wants to put Anakin down to satisfy resistance or satisfy battle border rather, and maybe kind of bait Jeff into attacking a bit. Although his Destiny's deck's so bad, I don't know if I would really want to be attacked here. Oh, sorry. That looks like Kit Fisto, actually, not Anakin. Which makes a little more sense. Kit Fisto's a little more durable. And can draw more cards. Kind of get you around having such a poor reserve deck right there. So Emperor's going to pick up Force Lightning and then use it to look at the cards in his Force Spell. Jeff not even pretending that Force Lightning is not the card he put back. Yeah, draws one with shadows, recirculates. So I think Jeff's still in a better position here, but batmouse is kind of evening up the damage now. So now Kit Fisto not guaranteed to survive the turn, so we'll see what happens from there. But yeah, picks up Force Lightning again to get to look at his reserve deck, and then also use it to look at his force pile. The manipulation from the 7 side of Agents of the Black Sun is so strong. As I recall from our discussions before, Agents even being a potential reason not to want to play this space version of Yoda Communing, because it's so committed to putting Luke in space that unless you kill Zizor, you're never gonna flip them back. Jeff evaluating his force pile here. Okay, so we've got Aura Singh with Blast Rifle coming down. And then draw a card with Shadows of the Empire. Batmouse has to lose a card. Let's just lose off the top, I think. Yeah. And then we got a Probot going down to the 3PO site, to the 2-0. So 3PO being vulnerable. And just too many things occupied to really be able to satisfy simple tricks and nonsense to stop the Probot drain there. And there's U3PO to block the Kit Fisto drain. Now, Batmouse probably has some sort of answer to Undercover Spy. It's pretty common that you would, but unknown if he has it in hand. So Jeff getting ahead further in the damage race now. Threatening to do, let's see, 4, 5, 7 damage next turn. And deploying more to space. Can't see what, but looks like another ship. Would be my guess. Oh no, another character on Filling's Fist. Somebody looking at the Revenge of the Dark Prince 7 side of Agents of the Black Sun. And Jeff will just recirculate. He's pretty happy with how things are right now. Oh, and yep, batmouse has the free ride combo in hand, so he's just going to use it now to kill U3PO, get him out of there. Jeff is deciding if he wants to grab that. That doesn't really make sense to me if you were going to grab it, sure. Before the recirculate is when batmouse wants to do this. Probably so we can track that 5. Makes sense. Like batmouse is working out the sequencing of where things are going here, probably so you can do some sort of battle. And then Fury combo is going to get sensed. Ooh. And Jeff drew a Gick combo for the sense. So although that does get will cancel the free ride combo, that is still some powerful information knowing that the Gick is down there. Oh, and that's even better potentially. Well, actually that's maybe not better, but still also useful information. Batmouse had the do or do not shield out, so Jeff had to lose 2 force to that sense, and he lost the Get combo and a Zuckuss and Mist Hunter. And the free ride will be grabbed. Okay. Well, as I think about it, that actually maybe makes some sense. If you want to leverage your undercover spy, you don't want the free ride coming back. Well, nope. Jeff changes his mind on that. Technically speaking, did all this in the wrong order, but it's not a huge deal. Why did he use 2 there after recirculating? Oh, he's paid maintenance on Boba Fett? Oh, geez. Okay. Well, battling in space is really sketchy now. Flame's Fist is immune to attrition less than 8, if I remember correctly. So you're going to need multiple destinies to crack it, but you also don't want to have multiple destinies drawn against you with Boba Fett. Yeah, immune less than 8. Alright, so Hamlet activates, he's going to use... Oh, another... Oh no, that's the same free ride combo. Probably. Did he have the Wise Advice out also? That would be a lot. But not insane against Agents of the Black Sun, known for playing a lot of senses. The Jura card with Kit Fisto seems to have the free ride combo again, so that will take care of U3PO. And presumably get 4 points in drains here. Now, what I was saying, useful information before, Jeff willingly just losing that Gick, kind of tells you that he probably already has one in hand. He just peeled 4 cards off the top, including a Blaster Controls and a P-59, and another Emperor. Yeah, being so willing to lose the Gick, especially when you're about to lose a bunch of force, you could potentially draw back into that Gick with shadows. Yeah, it's a little telling. Although, I don't know where your good attack is, because there's going to be a Scissors bounty, right? So... be a decent opportunity for a Qui-Gon Strain Jedi attack. Batmouse moving some cards around. I'm not sure what for. I was supposed to wake up. All right. A little hard to tell the card counts too. It kind of looks like Jeff's ahead, but hard to be sure. Onita. Okay. Well, with Batmouse's Lost Pile off camera, we can't see what he's picking up with that. Usually in this situation, this like I guess like a lightsaber. Oh, there's Mace Windu probably getting bountied. 7, and there's bounty. Kind of inevitable, but you know. There's Anakin to follow up. Okay, and now see if there's a lightsaber for one or both of them. Dangerous here, Batmouse, because you don't draw Battle Destiny against Caesar alone, so you can't actually fight here. Looks like he is fighting, which is not a good decision without a weapon. Yeah, that fell victim to the classic blunder of Prince Zizor, I think. Oh, there's a Qui-Gon's lightsaber. I think that's probably on sand there is probably what that is. Maybe he just wanted to pick up a card off sand. Which I guess is fine, but you risked a lot. Like, Jeff drew a 1 for Battle Lessons. There's no overflow, but could have easily drawn a 6. That's the thing this deck does a lot. In that case, you're 14 to 5. You have to peel 1. You only have to peel 1, I guess, so it's not that bad. Oh, no, you're 15 to 5, so you peel 2. Still not great, but yeah, I don't love that attack there, especially without a lightsaber to go on Mace. Mace doesn't really do anything with a lightsaber, so this could be really bad. We'll see what Jeff has to come down and punish this play. Big advantage for Batmouse here, of course, though, is that Arsing and Mara are already deployed, so they cannot be added to this stack to attack Mace Windu, which are probably 2 of the most dangerous ones. Django doesn't add Battle Destiny. Boba Fett wouldn't either, although he's already deployed 2. So I guess kind of it's a little bit limited in terms of what that could come down to beat you up. Although Cad Bane would be pretty bad. Cad Bane would basically get to kill Mace for free. So if you're Batmouse, you kind of hope that's not what he's got in hand, although he's had so many turns to manipulate his deck and draw a bunch of cards that I would not be surprised if there was a Cad Bane here. And so he's looking at his force pile again. That's the other thing, even if it's not in hand now, could possibly be. It's an interesting kind of dance here with Agents of the Black Sun, where you've got to kind of balance having a lot of pressure on board with also needing to use force to be able to draw cards at the right time. So you need to be able to deploy things kind of every turn. Not exactly every turn, but it's useful to be able to deploy things on each turn. There's Dr. Evazan. Maybe just overflowing Mace. That might be overpowering Mace. That might be how we kill him. Yeah, man, I did not love that. That was not super good. Maybe better just do that deploy in front of the Emperor. Because then you at least kill Mara. I guess you probably take overflow. Well, you get to draw Destiny, so yeah. Tough. It might have been counting as reserve or trying to evaluate how to do this attack. Oh, he's just gonna fight. I don't remember. I didn't see him draw from shadows. He might have already. Or maybe the card he wants is a little further down. So he doesn't get 2 Destiny. He just gets the 1. But it is 15 power to 6. So draws the 5. And Batmouse draws a 4. So Jeff is going to have to lose first one of his characters because there's Zizzor's immune, but the others aren't. So you have to lose one of them. We are 10 power on batmouse's side to so 5, so 20 power. Down 10. This is happening in the wrong order, which is kind of relevant. What is getting verified here? They look kind of like a lost file, but I don't. No. Oh, it's his hand from Scissors Bounty. Okay, makes sense. Wait, why didn't Jeff have to lose anything? Like, I assume there's a Hujix here, so why we're not peeling, but why? I don't know if I can do this quickly enough to get some people involved on this, but it's probably too late now because they're losing force to drains, but I really don't understand why there was no attrition. Yeah, maybe if somebody can let me know what I've missed here, but this doesn't make sense to me. I don't know why that barrier was revealed if it wasn't a battle last name, and I don't know why nothing was lost to attrition if it was a battle last name. So, is there something about Agents of Blackstone that gives them immunity? Nope. All right. Well, I think we're moving on now. So, batmouse is in a pretty bad spot here. Jeff really has essentially control of this board. His Scissors Bounty was spent. Well, there's another mace and a barrier. Yeah, batmouse is going to grab. Oh, that was already grabbed. So there is. Who is that? Is that Master Qui-Gon? I don't think we'll be able to correct this if I'm right about the battle lesson there, but we'll see what happens. Yes, I can't tell what character that is behind Mace. Or maybe it's his weapon? Could be his lightsaber. Well, Chris Schoenthal says that they are going to try to fix that situation. So we can't like back up to it, but like could be plausible that the situation could be that somebody, yeah, all right, yeah, Jeff just missed it, or they both just missed it rather. So yeah, Jeff will just lose Dr. E here to cover the attrition from the previous turn. So even though it's a little hairy, glad that we have our active judging to fix a situation like that. See if we can just kind of add let's add the table judge here so we can hopefully take care of something like that a little quicker if it comes up again. But yeah, so I mean, deploying here does save 2 damage for batmouse, so that's something, because this is, you know, this is a match situation, match play situation, so their differential is going to matter. Although Jeff just now looking at the Scissor Palace source text to see if he can see if he might want to retrieve into hand or exchange into hand, I think is how it works now. Because it was changed. Yeah, it wants to bring him an exchange and alien in hand with a non-spy Black Sun agent. So if he wants to like get back Dr. E, he can. Oh, Dr. E, obviously the other card named with Quietly Observing, so otherwise you wouldn't be able to deploy it in Black Sun. What their characters were lost. I know there's a P-59, but not a Black Sun. Dr. E seems like the most obvious one. But on the other hand, not especially relevant, because probably the only 2 weapon users here that can actually hit mace are on table already. Oh, Cad Bane. Yeah, that's a good one. That's what we were saying before. Cad Bane, quite good here. And will be able to ensure that mace dies in this battle. Although, using that exchange text is pretty risky if you're going to fight here, because if Zizor leaves the table, that's kind of it. You're not going to be able to get him back with the sewer exchange, and then you won't. If you initiate the battle, you won't be able to no escape him, because like it'll just do damage to you. So a good card to get back here, but also probably need to maneuver around for some battles. You're not gonna want to just jam here. So yeah, Jeff doing the standard thing, get the Force Lightning, put it back with Vengeance of the Dark Prince. If batmouse can find a way to make that Force Lightning go away, that would be great, but I don't know how we can do that. It's not being played, so you can't sense it or anything, so. Alright, and then Jeff's going to his activate. Both players seem content with the stalemate in space. There's not really any effort to continue fighting, so Jeff is going to do, looks like 4, 5 damage, 6 damage with shadows. Oh, is shadows or is Vengeance occupied? Might be 8 damage. Can't spell. Ooh, battleground location occupied by Zizor Emperor, so he will still cause 2 damage with the 7 side, even though he's in front of Zizor. That's interesting. Now Jeff does have to be wary here because he's kind of running out of his battle canceling tricks, right? He spent his Zizor's mana, he spent 2 barriers that are grabbed. So like if you try to run Zizor away, and batmouse has something else to come down and fight with, might be able to kill Zizor, which would really change the balance of the damage here. And the dynamic of how the rest of the game will play out, because Jeff won't get his attrition bonus, won't get his force pile manipulation stuff. So killing Zizor would be a big deal here. I can't tell if Jeff left anything in his reserve deck. Might have activated all of it. We'll say. And the other thing with not losing anybody to attrition in another battle that might change things that we can't really go back on now, that would have changed what card was retrieved with Zizzor's bounty. But way too late to fix that. So we'll just accept the action out of order and see what happens. So Cad Bane going down to the sewer. I feel like that means you're going to see Zizzor move over, Mara move over in front of Mace. Would still be a devastating. Sorry about the mess, though. P59 to go fight Kit Fisto. Interesting. Oh, and then he just recirculates. Okay. That's bizarre. I don't know that I like that. Did you let Zizzor vulnerable for not a lot of reason? I guess maybe it's a Jedi lightsaber instead of a Mace Windu's lightsaber, and then you won't cause like overflow. I'm still gonna drain for 2 and get a retrieval. If Batmouse wants to pay for it, he might not be able to. Oh, there he does. So like P59 really can't hit Kit Fisto, and he's not a Black Sun agent, so he won't cause any attrition bonus. Might kill Kit Fisto with attrition anyway, because Kit Fisto's only immune 5. Batmouse didn't activate too much. Only has 3 left after using 1, probably to a battle. Yeah, that's a battle, and he'll swing and hit Zizzor. And then swing. Oh, he didn't. He missed. He drew, I think, a Mesa Saber and a character. He did not hit Django. Probably will not cause overflow then. Could draw a 5 for his battle list, yeah. Well, that looks like a Blastor controls. Looks like another 5. So it looks like we're going to stack Mace on Communing because his sabers, or this is all the Maces, I think. So that saber will just be floating. But we did get Zizzor off the table, which flips Black Sun back to 0. I think you have to do another battle now, because you have to bury that Zizzor. Oh, but there's no cards in reserve. So you can't bury the Zizzor. She'll just be able to no-escape it for free. That's pretty bad. Wonder if Batmouse activated 1 too many. But he really wanted to draw that 5 for the battle list, didn't he? Well... Did he? Does that matter? We'll see. Alright, so... Doesn't mean Batmouse is down pretty low, though, so... Jeff recirculates and draws a card with shadows, and then it's going to activate. Well, they're both kind of low, but I think Jeff's ahead. Drain, so we're going to cause 2, 3, 4 damage, 5 damage with shadows. Yeah, dangerous thing about Black Suns, if you let them get everything set up, they can do a lot of damage by spreading. So I think Batmouse might be in mode where you're just trying to reduce the diff as much as you can and try to make it plausible to win the next battle or the next game and come out ahead from that. Getting down to it, Batmouse doesn't have a lot of cards left. Yep, there's the no escape, and there's the Caesar, which will flip objective back to the 7 side, which I'm sure they'll get in a second. Cad Bane, Mara move. Jeff's probably good to go here. Yeah. I don't know. Pay its maintenance still. Batmouse is gonna. I think he used the 3PO puller. Yeah, so we're just gonna verify. It's left in there. Looks like about 9 cards, or no, 7 cards down for Batmouse. Definitely a lot more than that for Jeff. Save 1 card, which I would guess is to be able to kill P59, but it's tough. It's tough for that to matter. You know what you could do is Qui-Gon Serene Jedi into Zizor. Oh, then probably just don't shoot. Yeah, just don't shoot with Arsing. If he shoots with Arsing, he'll draw 7 for Battle Destiny with Serene Jedi. And then that'll kill both characters. But if he doesn't shoot, he'll just draw 5 and he'll just kill Aura. Won't really accomplish anything. Jeff has to, I don't know how many cards they have in hand. Jeff has to be in a position now where, like, he wants to pitch from hand to keep the diff up, because he's so far ahead in this game. It's hard to imagine he's going to lose it, but verifies, and there's an R2 and red 5. And he's going to do exactly what I said. Oh, he's going to draw 7, though. So, swing or not, he's going to kill both characters. That's... Alright. Batman's still making some plays. Peaks with Communing. Can't do anything with it because he only has 1 card. You have to be battling here, right? You set all that up. You got to battle. Alright, he's going to swing, and that looks like 2 characters. That's a miss. So that means this is going to be a 9 for total Battle Destiny. Against a 5. Now, hang on here. That's 13 to 15. You don't have to lose Qui-Gon. Right? 6 plus 9 is 15. They're 5. Oh, there's 14. No, you still shouldn't have to lose Qui-Gon. I feel like that was a little bit of a mistake for Anthony, although it's hard for it to matter, I guess. So, but I mean, every point of damage could matter. It is 1 more. This is still going to be for 4 damage. Nope, 6 damage. Yeah, it's only 6 damage. It's almost everything that Batman has left. So, but yeah, I was like, I don't think you were supposed to lose the Qui-Gon because you get to cause 1 more damage. Like, I feel like that matters. Yeah. All right. Well, Batman will concede that game. We'll see if we can find out what the differential was. Probably Jeff had like 3 cards in hand, so the extra damage wouldn't have mattered because you just lose from hand and then do the rest of it. We'll get the information updated here with the differential, and then they'll go on to game 2. Jeff by 9. Not actually as much as it kind of looked like. So definitely winnable. It's definitely still winnable for batmouse. So we'll see what comes up here. I feel like batmouse probably you probably have to be pretty happy with that, given that Agents of the Black Suns are one of the worst matchups for Yoda commuting. Just because you can really never put Luke on the ground, so you can keeping them flipped takes a lot of work. So yeah, I feel like that result was pretty good for batmouse. Single digit diff. Definitely you can overcome that. So so they're talking the game over here, discussing some stuff. While they're doing that, we know that Jeff's deck has a lot of Emperor Palpatines, which is pretty expensive. But if you want to play Star Wars CCG online for free and without needing to have physical cards or cut up V-slips, then yeah, you can include those 6 Luke Skywalker Jedi Knights or 5 Emperor Palpatines in your deck that you never had the money to collect. Just play Star Wars CCG on GIMP. That'll get you everything that you need. It's GIMP.StarWarsCCG.org, I believe, is the URL for it. All right, and then I haven't heard word yet on when they're going to be playing this next one. Kind of presume right away, but sometimes you want a little bit of a break there. Sorry, play.starwarscg.org is that URL. So I just have bookmarked and always open, so I don't remember what the URL is for it. Oh, and this is probably pretty important to know, as it's sort of a time-sensitive thing a bit. But as many of you know, the PC is run completely by donations from players and community members and whatnot. The donation program has a bunch of rewards that get sent out, but they are kind of time limited because of just the logistics of getting stuff mailed out. And the 2023 donations program closed a couple months ago. But if you're bummed that you missed your chance to donate to the PC for 2023 and you want to get a sweet deck box, for instance, late donations are still being accepted on a strictly while excess supplies last basis. So make sure you email marketing@starwarsccg.org if you're interested in that. The deck boxes have been a really popular prize that have been added recently to donations. Last year it was available for playing in major events. I can show off one here. I believe this is a lot from last year. This is the Admiral Raddus deck box, still sealed up there. But yeah, pretty sweet one. And if you want a card size comparison, card about that big. So as you can imagine, you can get a couple of decks in there, even fully sleeved, even double sleeved. So If you're unaware of those deck boxes, they are quite cool, and the way to get them is the donations program, which apparently there's still a little bit of time to get some stuff in for that. So can't promise everything, but anything that's still available, all the PC can do with it is give it away. So that's what we're hoping to do. All right, looks like the players are taking a break here, so I will also for a minute or so, and we'll be back here in just a second with the game 2 of this quarterfinal match. All right. All right, Star Wars folks, we are back here for the second game of this quarterfinal match between Anthony Howard, batmouse, and JLavigne, treadwell. Whoops, I got to switch the players. For those who are just joining us, Jeff did win game 1 by 9. This is a match, a full match, so batmouse will need to win game 2 by 10 or more in order to advance. Or, I suppose, 9 and win tie breaks, but... Sometimes mouse is not the best way to do it. Okay. All right, and looks like we have, is that may be Obi-Wan communing against Set Your Course for Alderaan. Now there is a Yoda Dagobah set out there. I can't tell who is under the communing epic event for Jeff. However, speak with the Jedi Council, or sorry, I must be allowed to speak virtual Saitor Walkling. Could certainly be Obi-Wan communing, which has been the big deck of the weekend. For those who didn't see the meta breakdown, Obi-Wan communing was played by 10 players. So in 40 games, it went 24 and 16. So you went for a 60% win record. Set Your Course, on the other hand, played by 3 players and went 4 and 8, which is not awesome. So we'll see how this plays out. Of course, I'm also still assuming that it's Obi-Wan communing. Not impossible that it's Yoda communing. I believe we saw a Must Be Allowed to Speak start from Team 5 at Worlds, where they played the Cantina and the Farm. Now, at the same time, though, that was a different Yoda communing, because you could play Luke the Last Jedi in that one, which you can't do now. Actually, as I'm saying that, I now don't remember how that how Yoda was errated. So let's see. Oh, no, you still can play Luke the Last Jedi. So it was Qui-Gon community that was taken out of. So we'll see. It could certainly be that. Because that Yoda community, I guess, is still good. Didn't actually see Batmouse's starting effects because they're off screen, but would certainly guess that they're probably the typical ones. Not sure what happened here. Batmouse seems to have stopped mid-shuffle. So not too sure what's going on here. I wonder if the stream is frozen. Oh, no, I can see some movement. I just stepped away for a second. Probably replace a card or a sleeve or something. All right. Oh, yeah. Looks like placing a sleeve. All right. Well, while they're getting all that set up, the PC is always looking for additional help. So we operate entirely on donations. So you can become a playtester, help with card development, use your coding skills for GEMP development or fixing bugs, help with marketing, help with deck lists, or create content. Doesn't matter what skills you have, there's a spot for your enthusiasm for the game. Visit StarWarsCCG.org/volunteer to get in touch with us. So volunteer things like even doing coverage if you want. Certainly always looking for good voices to do it. There's a lot of people willing to, but certainly always happy to let people give it a shot. So yeah, so tricky thing with this matchup. Say, of course, for Alderaan is a very heavy space deck. Runs a lot of Star Destroyers. On the other hand, Obi-Wan Communing is a very heavy ground deck. Maybe run one system. Maybe. Maybe could be as many as like 4 or 5 ships, but commonly it's not that many. So they're not probably going to be fighting on the same axes very much. Jeff, if you could slide that. Oh, yep, that's Obi-Wan Communing. All right. Known for short now. So the real question, right, the tricky part here is going to be whether either of them can interact with the other in the chosen theater, and how well they can mitigate the damage that each other is causing. So we'll see. This, I believe is batmouse's first top 8. Jeff, of course, kind of burst on the scene last year, winning the Indoor Grand Prix, and then making top 4 of Nationals. Or was it Nationals? The tournament in Minnesota last year. Can't remember if it was Nationals back-to-back in the same place, but Jeff looking to repeat that performance. He's going to play Return of the Jedi V with his first action, while Batmouse pulls a couple shields. Looks like Grabber and Secret Plans. Jeff is going to pick up the Obi-Wan's Hut Virtual. Pulls the Super Laser with I believe it's an effective demonstration is the effect that does that. For those of you who have not been able to keep up with the other games, Charlie Arlinson on light side beats Sam Tashima by 15. And Greg Shaw on light side defeated Connor Britton by 13. So this was the closest match so far. And also the only one so far that Darkside won first game. So it was Nationals back-to-back in the same place? Okay. I know there were some scheduling reasons to do that. It just struck me as, we try not to do that a lot of times. All right. So Batmouse is kind of doing the usual setup here. He's got the War Room. He's pulling, I don't know what system that is. Some kind of battleground system. Don't know which one. Adding the San Diego Open helps with the coverage for majors. Yeah, that's very true. When it was like New Jersey, Minnesota, and then flex. Sorry, New Jersey, Minnesota, and Endor. When it was just those three, it was kind of tough. But with the flex one in the middle, helps a lot. All right, so Super Laser, and then probably just moving the Death Star to Parsec 1, and then Batmouse going to draw some cards. Commonly, we would see Nalhutta and Jeddah at the two battleground systems that this Set Your Course deck would play, but that one doesn't look like either of those. So, be interested to see which one it is. Maybe Rendili? All right. So there's the Hut. Big effect, that's a 2/0 that you can't drain at, and is when Obi-Wan's communing, it reduces permanent weapon destinies. So we got Mos Eisley being pulled with Obi-Wan. And then Anakin's lightsaber coming up, probably with Saitor. And Rey will go down to Mos Eisley. I think the farm must be activated because he didn't pull that too. And this play makes sense. The trouble spot for Set Your Course is that they can be pretty slow out the gate. They got to spend the first couple of turns getting things set and getting ready to use your fire off the super laser and blow up Alderaan. Oh, there's the farm. All right, and Anakin's lightsaber on Rey, so. Threatened to do some damage right away. Now, advantage of SYCFA, of course, is a million voices crying out. Not necessarily a huge problem to be taking some early damage because you can retrieve it. So there's Nalhutta. Oh, and the bridge. We found Accelerate. And he's going to use the Set Your Course for Alderaan objective to take Krennic, a Death Star Commandant into hand. Nice little card engine for SYCFA. Yeah, so the standard effects that this deck would play are Drive Barracks Virtual, which you can see up there next to the objective. A million voices crying out to pull the Command's Primary Ignition Epic event and retrieve stuff with Star Destroyers once you blow up Alderaan, and an effective demonstration, which makes your attempt to blow up Alderaan +5 makes it hard to fail. Excuse me. So Batmouse is going to play his Accelerate to get his bridge, and we get the system out there. Is that Jeddah? I don't think that's what Jeddah looks like. Jeddah, commonly one of the systems that you'd play. Oh, maybe it's a black and white Jeddah. That could be. Because when you control it, your super laser weapon destiny draws your +1. So you're even more likely to succeed at blowing away Alderaan. Batmouse has to find his trademark cards like Undercover Spies. Well, the problem with Undercover Spies is they're not that good against the Cantina Shuffle, which is not going to be what happens on turn 1. There's probably going to be what happens on turn 2. Yeah, Batmouse pulls Battle Plan as well. A tough card for a heavy space deck like SYCFA to want to play, but you gotta attack their attempt to drain you on turn 1 or on turn 2 there. So it makes sense to me that he'd play it, even though he doesn't probably want to. Yep, and there's the drain for 2. Can't see what that was. A red card. There's a Yoda going down to the Death Star docking bay. And Anakin to join him. All this mostly just making it harder to blow away the Death Star because you have to count Death Star locations where light side doesn't have presence. I presume Anakin will move over to the war room. Yep. Anakin will bounce over. So Jeff's kind of deployed a lot of stuff here. Hadn't drawn too many cards early. It's trying to put the pressure on. Yeah, so effective demonstration adds 5 to attempts to blow away Alderaan. Gotta watch out for Veers and a Walker, though. Yeah, I mean, the trouble spot for Veers and a Walker against Obi-Wan Communing is Master Luke just like trump cards that. So you really want that card to be deployed first before you commit Veers and a Walker. Yeah, I agree. Smart to be aggressive. This is, I think, the proper way for Jeff to play this matchup. Because you don't want to let SYCFA get into a clean end game. They get into a long game, they have much more retrieval than Obi-Wan Communing does. So they'll be very able to handle all that. Oh, hey, well, shows what I know. There's Blizzard 8. And there's Veers. Expensive, but effective. Oh, he used too much, I think, for all that. Yeah. So didn't try to blow up the Death Star here, or to blow up the Alderaan here, which makes sense. Oh, and Krennic as forfeit fodder. Interesting. Effective demonstration. Well, it's only a demonstration if it doesn't accomplish anything, right? If it's just a show of force. I don't know if that's likely here. We're overpowering 9 to 6 and getting 2 destinies to 1. Obi-Wan Communing can't use their text to get additional power because there's actually no rebels on table despite there being 3 characters. So it's early enough that destinies aren't necessarily all thinned out. Light side could easily have still a system floating around and a bunch of characters, and looks like we're verifying the deck. That's a lot of red cards. I think that's actually all red cards and like a tractor beam, I think it was. So this battle's not going to go well for Yoda. Looks like Joe conceded the match against Hayes. Pretty common when those two get matched up that they don't really play it out. They're friends, and both of them have kind of accomplished a lot of what they expect to accomplish in this game. So happy to see the other one get some success. No battle damage there for Darkseid, so counterbeat can't be too bad. Yeah, that's true. As long as you're on the 0 side, yeah, you can just battle light side off of your sights, and they're not going to, they don't get to overflow you or anything. So like Lord Sidious here is really strong. Now you're still vulnerable to weapons. You can still be hit by weapons, but Lord Sidious, when he's alone, is going to exclude basically every character in light side's deck except for Yoda. So you'd have to come down with like Luke with a lightsaber and someone else with a lightsaber. I don't even know that there is another lightsaber that can be deployed here besides Anakin's, which is already on the table. So probably not going to be able to kill Sidious on the counterbeat if he moves over. Yoda's way overpowered here. Now I presume Jeff is going to remember not to stack Yoda on Communing. Yeah, Yoda just dies. It looks like with a bunch of other cards. So no Hoojix this early. Wasn't expecting Batmouse to have all of this ground this early, which I mean is one of the dangers of going aggressively with your characters against SYCFA, because like, yeah, sometimes their hand is all ships and they can't do anything. Sometimes their hand has Veers and a Walker and Lord Sidious, and then they beat the tar out of you. So I wonder if Batmouse is going to pull the Coward Shield so that you can't retrieve and can't drain at the War Room. I feel like moving Lord Sidious in makes more sense, but yeah, Lord Sidious will just move in. And Jeff smartly did not stack Yoda on Communing. We saw Batmouse stack Mace on Communing last game, but that was on a different Communing. Big trick here is that Return of the Jedi V, which pulled the Obi-Wan's hut, and notably gets to add Battle Destinies as a Lost Interrupt, can only do so unless there's a Jedi Master Communing. So, although in other decks, stacking your extra Jedi Masters can be useful, get more activation, get some power, get some more card manipulation. In this deck, you don't want to stack anything. You start with Obi, and then you don't stack anything after that. So. So Batmouse pulled the Fanfare Shield and then pulled Enter the Bureaucrat. So Jeff is, I assume, not going to add one to his drain here at the Cantina. Well, so the problem is that the Yoda's Hut text only works while the Communing Yoda is communing. It doesn't work while any Yoda is communing. Ooh, there we go. So we got Master Luke to shut down Veers, and we got Landa Scoundrel to draw a second Destiny. So Darkseid has 9 power, but they will not. Their Battle Destiny will be 0. And then presumably after this battle, Anakin will move back in. Batmouse is just going to use Master Move to get Gick here. Won't need to use the Gick, but... You're okay, man. You're okay, James. That interaction was very specifically put on the Yoda hut to stop exactly that kind of thing from being done. So, you'll notice Obi-Wan's hut does not actually care which Obi-Wan is communing. The Coruscant site, the Jedi Meditation Chamber, also doesn't care which Qui-Gon is communing. It's just the Yoda's hut that cares which Yoda is communing. So in that battle, we lost to Veers and Krennic. The Funeral Pyre allows you to stack Anakin too, yes. I think the bonus is just that you get to battle for free, so it's like not that great, but yeah, you get to battle for free. All right. Oh, he doesn't move Anakin over. Oh, because he has to pay maintenance on Lando. That makes sense. Now, best comeback for Batmouse here would definitely be something like no escape for Veers, and then like a Thrawn. Hopefully draw above 8 for your Destiny and kill both characters. Actually, The best would be a no escape for Veers, and then a Vader Emperor's Enforcer. So we tried to blow up the Death Star and drew Kira. That's not going to do it. Probably EPP Kylo or something. Yeah, EPPs are not as effective against Obi-Wan Communing because of the reduction. I mean, you can still try to hit Lando. Lando's defense 3, so you probably still get him, but... So yeah, Batman's got to be careful here with his tracking. Our consensus was you can afford to miss once with Commence Primary Ignition, but you have to hit the second time. You have to be absolutely certain that you will hit the second time. Because missing essentially loses the game. Because once you miss, you can't flip anymore. Maybe that is that must be Jedha. It must just be black and white Jedha. We got Tyrant and a Tractor Beam to space. Very interesting. Get the extra bonus there. What's happening? Are we battling? Is he battling against Anakin, I would guess? And he just drew a Star Destroyer, so he's down 3. Oh, but he takes no battle damage, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, may as well do that battle. You might kill Anakin. This is great. Sidious moves over. I don't love that. Because now Sidious can just get attacked. Although I guess if you have nothing left to... If you don't have a 4 Destiny character to put with the Blizzard Walker, you kind of may as well do that. Tractor Beam is Batmouse special. Yeah, yeah. We had talked about it last night. Command. That's a little late. Yeah, he needs someone to draw versus Master Luke. The problem is that like Master Luke can now get his saber, can hit Sidious. Like, man, if you get clashed after that, that's just a disaster. That's so bad. Now, I said the Lord Sidious super good in this deck because Yoda's the only character that you can't explode with Lord Sidious. We got an update here. Looks like Charlie advances over Sam Tashima. So great run for Sam, his first top 8. But Charlie will be continuing his run to try to win his first major. So. Yeah, Master Luke is really actually the card that makes this Obi-Wan deck, I think. Master Luke is so good. Just use the Force here, I think, to battle. Yeah, and this is why I was saying, like, as good as the general Veer, like, I guess, okay. The Veers play did get Yoda overflowed for a bit. So, that was pretty good. As we think about it, like, maybe moving Lord Sidious in wasn't correct. Maybe it was correct to just pull Coward so you don't take damage from the drain at the 2-0 and dare Lightside to do something to come at you there. Because if they don't, that then you're occupying they're only occupying one site, so you're better able to flip the objective. The Veers plus blown Alderaan isn't too... Yeah, but you didn't get to blow up Alderaan, right? That's the problem. Like, the attack, I think... The attack was certainly good. Caused a bunch of overflow, definitely a good thing. I think that moving Sidious away was actually probably a mistake, as I'm thinking about it. Or at least, certainly, it didn't work out. Because you could certainly have anticipated a Master Luke coming down, and it's bad no matter what happens from there. Whether it's a Lando, whether it's a Hera, Padme, whatever. But leaving Lord Sidious there mitigates that. Now, yeah, he could have pulled his lightsaber, but you would still get to draw your 2 destinies. So there's a chance that you would kill Master Luke and Lando. even if you lose Sidious in the process. And if you lose Sidious in the process to that, possibility that you don't have to lose your guys and you can no escape Sidious, or maybe you just lose Krennic. I mean, with the destinies that were drawn, obviously that's not how it would have worked out, but all these little lines. It's really just the like not leaving Veers exposed to Master Luke when he hasn't been deployed, and is kind of the second guessable part of this. All right, so we get the Luke's lightsaber to try to swing at Sidious. Yeah, missing the system blown away was really bad. And there's General Leia to the cantina. Oh, and then he's just gonna stand. I think that was a dark time to activate a force. And track down to the dark time, I think. Because that's one thing, the SYCFA deck generates so much force. So. Now all of that, 5 + 1, 6, you need greater than 8, so you need to draw 3. So that 4, if you did track down to it, will in fact blow away Alderaan. Subtract 1, that doesn't matter. Jeff plays that they're tracking us to subtract 1, thinking that would do it. But then Batmouse points out, oh no, I still control Jeddah, so it's still +1. They just fist bump over it. Jeff thought that was awesome. All right, so that will blow away Alderaan. Yeah. All right. Objective achieved. So, SYCFA's flipped now and will be flipped for the rest of the game. Oh, I'd forgotten that text you. Yeah, doing all the little addition math is super important to playing SYCFA. You have to know what your target is, what you're aiming at. So Jeff loses 3 to the Alderaan blowing away. I'm sure we'll flip the objective in a minute here. Oh yeah, and Jeff has to. Well, he can't satisfy resistance. He's not satisfying resistance here, so he is just going to eat a drain of 3. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, and then Intimidator Persecutor, costing 10 force, but retrieving 3. Yeah. Now, of course, you have to consider that Batmouse will take battle damage at battles on the Death Star. So everything has a cost. And then we got Tarkin Doctrine, which will cause an extra ping at Jeddah. He has the Gick now. That's true. He does have the Gick now. So, Tarkin, really? Oh yeah, there it is. Tarkin Doctrine. Systems controlled by your Star Destroyer within 2 parsecs of the Death Star. So Death Star's a parsec 2. Jeddah will get to cause that ping. And now, losing Krennic here, although it's unfortunate because you would like that card manipulation, actually not too bad. Because now you don't have to spend the force to move. Batmouse staring down a lot of damage. I mean, yes. Clever. So, Blizzard 8 shuttles up to the Intimidator Persecutor, which now leaves Sidious alone, so he can exclude Master Luke. Or whoever. Probably Master Luke, so he doesn't get hit by a saber. And now, yeah, Jeff is going to get to cause 4 damage here, but a Tarkin's Orders is not out of the question. Because Batmouse does control the Death Star system, so he'll be able to cancel the Anakin drain with Tarkin's Orders if he wants to. Yeah, moving over. Oh, I guess he gets to cause 5 damage if he moves over. All right, sure.
This is an interesting back and forth. And with the diff only being 9, they kind of get to play the game just to play the game, right? It's different. It's different like the finals match of Brad playing this deck against Joe's Pyre heading for the Medical Frigate deck. Because Brad was down by so much. It changes how you have to play it. Down only 9, I don't think you have to really adjust too much. Maybe be a little more conservative, take a little fewer risks, but you can play this game kind of the way that you would play it just in like OCS or something, or in the Swiss. So I think Jeff trying to evaluate what his plan is for this turn, so how much he needs to activate. He's already lost quite a bit of force. Now batmouse has 2, but he's retrieved some of it, so. Makes me so sad that Intimidator Persecute doesn't trigger Million Voices twice, but I understand rules-wise why it doesn't. It's just sad. It does get the double deploy bonus from Ultimate Power in the Universe, though, from the 7 side of SYCFA. So, I don't know what that was, but okay. So I'm trying to entertain us while Jeff's thinking about it. It's a weird explanation of the rulebook on it for the double sorcerers. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense that Million Voices only triggers once, right? But it's still, yes, and probably best that it works that way. Also true. Also true. For those watching this later, or even if you're watching it now and you want to see kind of how we got here, right, to the quarterfinals, if you're looking for an old Holo Theater episode, game stream, or deck tech video, the PC's YouTube page has all those videos archived for your viewing pleasure. Visit StarWarsCCG.org and click on the YouTube link in the top right of the page and the social media links. Now, obviously, they're not there yet. I don't think we have yesterday's videos up there yet, but they'll probably be out here in a couple days. So. I missed what that was. Was it a command? I think the really interesting thing here is going to be what what Jeff can add to the Death Star docking bay to put the pressure on Sidious. Because like Master Luke's going to be excluded, so he's not going to be able to swing at him with a lightsaber, and Obi-Wan Committee is not allowed to run permanent weapons. But if you add like a Hera and another Rebel, so you draw 3 Destinies and overpower by like twice, you can force batmouse to peel him. So he pulls Don't Do That Again to verify his deck. That's weird. Or maybe he's trying to get advantage, because I know that's a card that that Cal Aldred ran yesterday in his Obi-Wan Communing. Well, maybe he thought better of the verify, because he didn't seem to give it. He didn't seem to take a card. Didn't seem to give the deck to batmouse. So I think he picked up the reserve and was like, no, let's not do that yet. All right. So he is going to do 4 points in drains. I think he was actually supposed to move Ray over and do 5 points in drains, but it is what it is. Managed to make a couple of OCS games last month. Yeah, I never have managed to find space in the deck for it, but it is a good card. I think especially in like an immunity mains where like you can set up like Qui-Gon, Serene Qui-Gon, who like is hard to kill unless it's hard to make him die unless you want him to die, right? Like you have to hit him pretty much with a weapon. All right, so he's going to move them over. He's going to play Haunting the Falcon to Nalhutta. So now, yeah, this is also one thing that I've seen the SYCFA deck have a little bit of troubles with sometimes, is clearing light set out of space. Now, of course, batmouse, though, did show he has a tractor beam. So if he has another one, he could take Communing the Falcon. If he does that, that would pretty much be it for Lightside's ability to take space, to hold anything in space. Because if he captures Communing the Falcon with the tractor beam, he doesn't just capture it; he gets to steal it. So it becomes random Imperial Pilot 1, random Imperial Pilot 2, and the Falcon. But like, or he just pays off Han and Chewie to become Imperials. I guess maybe that's what it is. All right, looks like Jeff's just drawn some cards here. You're gonna pay maintenance again, pass again. Makes sense. Like, Sidious is probably just going to have a standoff there unless there's more characters to add to it, which Jeff didn't seem to have. Because Sidious can't attack. He can't attack and exclude. So. Batmouse has to be running they've shut down the main reactor to keep the Falcon from moving. Yeah, and also it would make sense why he grabbed they're still tracking us. Shows his deck. There's a Sith Fairy and another red card. So 2 4/5s. Then he activates one more. What was he looking with? Probably Lord Sidious. So even if no beam in hand, I think he can deal with it. Maybe. He does have to crack 5 on the immunity. I think the reason you want to capture it, though, is because it is unique. It is still named Communing the Falcon. If you take it, your opponent can't redeploy their other one. All right, so Batmouse decides just activate everything. He's not going to fight this turn. Does his drain of 2 at the Death Star and 3 at the Jeddah. Potential argument for Jeff to have left Leia and Rey separate in order to satisfy resistance, but chose not to do that. Thunder Flare added at the Death Star where it's cheaper, and then pay 3 to retrieve. So all of that means that Jeff kind of only did 1 net damage last turn. Oh yeah, Falcon satisfies resistance. That's true. Oh, Jeff, maybe an oversight that he didn't pull resistance. Although he might be shield busted. Although if he is shield busted, then maybe an oversight to not pull resistance is actually what's going on. Oh, actually, maybe that third one was just the ping from Tarkin Doctrine. That makes sense. All right, so Batmouse figuring out how he's moving his fleet. He's going to move Tyrant in front of Communing the Falcon. He's going to move the Death Star to orbit Jeddah. And then move Thunder Flare to Jeddah. Okay. Jeff's got a Rebel leadership to get nothing. All right, just show the deck. There's a green card. Relatively unprotected. Interesting position for Batmouse. I don't know what the count is on his life force to know where we're at here. He certainly caused a lot of damage. It's mostly a question here as to can he do enough damage while avoiding taking too much damage. Lord Sidious staying alive is also kind of a big deal because he needs to be able to keep doing these drains for free. That's going to be a big piece of this, but for the moment, he's got things situated pretty well. Looks like he's saving 2 force, which I would guess is for a shut down the main reactor. Because I would guess he has an in range in hand. Save 3 force. Sorry, save 3 force. Just going to activate a bunch, save 2, I think. Just going to drain 2. MS is working it out. Looks like peel. That looks like a laser cannon better to me. And then he moves Leia over, so he's going to do the 5 damage. There is is that a Vader? No, that's an Admiral Mahdi. And then there's Enter the Bureaucrats. Yeah, in range gives +2, and Tyrant gets 1, so you shouldn't need Insane Destiny. Yeah, that's very true. The capturing the Falcon is definitely doable. Doesn't require tracking, and it's a crazy Destiny. You just have to draw like a 4. And even if you fail, you reduce their power and maneuver, if I remember correctly. So then you can like try to shoot, and you can try to track to them at the end of the battle. Tarkin's orders would have been huge. Although without Krennic, it's hard to loop it, so maybe not that big a deal. But saving 2 damage with a use interrupt would be great. Sorry about the mess. Oh no. Oh no, and he misses. He chose Rebel Leadership and Return of the Jedi, which is 7. So he misses his attempt to kill Sidious. Oh no. That was really bad. That is huge. And it is one of the like slight problems with this Obi-Wan Communing deck is that your Destinies aren't that awesome. Like your Polar's a Destiny, your Twix Polar's a Destiny 3. Ooh, a Tanev. Oh no, and there's the shut down the main reactor to hold the Honshu and the Falcon in place. And Jeff has no cards in reserve, so we know there's no battle. Yeah, I think Jeff didn't expect that. The Tanev is unexpected to me. That's an interesting add. So Jeff added Jyn Erso to the Lars Moisture farm, try to present a little bit more damage, and put the Tanev in front of the Thunderflare, expecting to be able to move Honshu and the Falcon in front, and instead I think he's going to get his space blown away. Is what's going to happen. Because shut down the main reactor will prevent the pilots from applying abilities to during Battle Destiny. So Honshu and the Falcon's not going to get Battle Destiny up there, even if he fails to capture them with in range. That I assume is in hand. We don't know that batmouse has it in hand, but I think it's expected. And then Tanev is obviously just going to get destroyed by the Thunderflare. Prevents moving is the big one. Yeah, prevents moving is the big one, but like added bonus, you can just battle into them and you're not going to lose. Although worth remembering, Jeff could have Return of the Jedi to add a Battle Destiny in either of those fights. So possible that you still might lose your ship. Added bonus. Yeah, I mean, I expect that probably what's going to happen here is Honshu and the Falcon's going to get in-ranged. And it's going to get captured in the battle. Is I think what's likely to occur. Man, and losing both of your ships, that's going to be a problem for Obi-Wan Communing. Because like they've got a lot of damage presented, but if they have to pay for it all through battle plan, that's not going to be great. Yeah, and missing that. Sorry about the miss, man. That was a really rough turn for Jeff. Like, just nothing went right. So he moves the Tanev over. Oh, that's potentially just as bad. Yeah, it doesn't look so bad if they hit Sidious, right? That's what's like. Just everything went as bad as possible. So he moves the Tanev over to reinforce. Problem is, still no Battle Destiny. You still need Return of the Jedi to draw Battle Destiny. And now batmouse gets to do 4 damage with the Thunderflare alone. I don't even know if that helped. I guess you don't want to get overflowed, right? Because Tanev covers 11, Thunderflare's power 7. Yeah, you're probably not going to get overflowed, even if it is for 1 or something. Probably would have been better to leave Tanev there. Force him to do 2 battles. We'll see. Talking should be systems controlled by Stardust Rose, I believe. Alderaan system controlled by a Star Destroyer within 2 parsecs of Death Star. Yeah, so it should be 1, which I think is the card paid for maintenance that he lost. Then we're going to drain for 5. See if you have 1 more Star Destroyer to retrieve some with. I don't know the capturing rules super well, especially for starship captures. Reason I ask is because if he captures Hanshi and the Falcon, I don't know if he gets it immediately. Oh yeah, it's immediately now stolen, which means he could forfeit it to cover attrition. Oh, steal but excluded from battle. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so if Jeff has a Return of the Jedi, and okay. So he doesn't have a Star Destroyer to retreat, but he does have a Vader to battle and presumably choke Jin. Oh, yep, there's the capture. Because in range is used, so. Yeah, it's captured but inactive. He's not part of the battle. But it does mean that even if Jeff has Return of the Jedi and kills the Tantive, he'll still control the system. Like, yep, there's a 5 for Battle Destiny. So it'll be Tantive and 1, I believe. Yep. Wow. So awful for Jeff. So now he has no system. So he's going to have to pay for his drains. I don't know if batmouse is going to battle with Vader. I would think he would, right? Because, like, if a Padme comes down, that's really bad. But, like, I don't know if he knows his destiny well enough to be able to do it. Man, tractor beams, man. Yep. Battle. Just draw destiny, I think. Draw 7. Ooh. Well, lose Vader. Ooh, close call. That's a good one. So Vader will survive. And then Jin gets to look at his hand if he wants. Yeah. That 2-turn cycle was so good for batmouse. So we'll see how Jeff can recover from that. He is still presenting 5 damage, right? Like, be clear here, we're still in damage race, and I don't know that Jeff is losing it by a lot. But now he kind of is, right? Because he has no space presence. Unless he can kill Sidious, he has to kill Sidious and Vader, actually. So unless he can kill Sidious and Vader, he's going to be causing 2, 5, 8, 9, 10 damage just in space. Unless he has some additional space, like, which is possible. Like, it could be laser resistance transport is pretty common, so it could be another laser resistance transport. But like, Rey's deployed already, so is he playing Holdo also? I think they're working out how this turn is ending now. Other thing too is Jeff does have a 7 where he knows where it is, so. Something to consider. I wonder if Jeff has multiple sorry about the misses. That could be huge if he does. Like, sorry about the mess, Sidious. Drop Padme on Vader and kill him. Then you're in a matched situation where you both have to pay for your damage. Could be good. Batmouse doesn't seem to have recirculated, so I'm not sure where we are in the turn. Batmouse has a lot of force still active. Yeah, alright. Batmouse just recirculates. Thunder Flare's maybe a little vulnerable over there, but it's probably not a big deal. Probably feel fairly secure in space. Like, Jeff would probably have to really honestly commit 2 cards in order to actually do anything in space here. Because unlikely, I think, that he has another ship that can draw Destiny on its own. It would have to be like Bravo Fighter or something weird. So, like, if he has another ship, it's probably Leia's Resistance Transport, or another Tanev or something. I think, well, persona-wise, I think it actually can be like Han General and Tidarium, but all right. So yeah, Jeff will spread and cause his 5 damage. Well, yeah, it looks like he paid for his 5 damage. They're counting up. Do you remember Batmouse has to win this by 10 in order to win the match? Oh, wow. Jeff concedes. Oh, man. Great job by Batmouse. Wow. So, yeah, he just conceded because, like, he's looking. He's like, I'm going to take 12 damage next turn. And I'm not going to be able to pay to do any more. And you're still far enough over 12. Or far enough over 10. So, yeah. Yeah, that's the game. That's the match. Great job. Great job by Matt Mouse. Assuming I read that whole situation correctly. I didn't actually say. Let's confirm, right? Let's confirm before we go overboard here. Like, Jeff extending the hand after the count certainly appeared to be that he was conceding the match, but I do want to wait to be absolutely sure before we crown Batmouse here. Oh, yep. Showenthal confirms. Batmouse over Jeff. Wow. So, yeah. That was an excellent job by Batmouse. Played that matchup exactly the way that he had planned it and talked about it, and like he knew what he was trying to do, knew what he needed to accomplish to make it all work. And I mean, a little bit of luck drawing the Sidious, and a little bit of luck sorry about the mess missing and stuff, but you know, you need luck to go your way in order to win. So can't really complain about that. So yeah, awesome. Also, I'm his teammate, so, you know, I'm a little biased, but still. Batmouse in his first top 8, advancing to the semifinals. It's fantastic. So, I don't actually know what the bracket looks like as far as whether or not we know who his opponent is yet. So, you might be waiting to see what happens with Greg and Connor. But for the moment, I think we are going to hold the stream here. Actually, it's probably easier to close it for breaking it down. So I will close it here, and then I'll open it again for if we come back with the semifinals. I think that is the plan. But thanks for joining for the quarterfinals. We'll be back with the semifinals as soon as it starts. So see you around.